you've probably seen in some Discord servers you've been a part of at some point or another, a ticketing system where you can submit a ticket for either, help or a Q&A session, maybe to contact a moderator directly, something of that nature. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set one of these up in your Discord server. By the time you get done, you'll be able to implement a ticketing system for your community. I want to give a shout out to Epidemic Sound, by the way, one of my Twitch sponsors, for the fantastic intro music that we have and the background music you'll hear throughout this video. Check out the link in the description if you guys would like to check out Epidemic Sound. It's DMCA free music, over 40,000 tracks, 90,000 sound effects you can use everywhere online. You can also save 50% off if you use code EagleGarrett. So check out that link. It is fantastic. The best way to show you what I mean by a ticketing system in Discord is to show you how we've implemented a ticketing system in our Discord server. Now, here we are in our Discord server called The Flock. And if you guys would like to join our Discord server, discord.gg/flock will get you an invite. We'd love to have you in the server with us. But I want to scroll down here on the left-hand side and show you what I mean by a ticketing system. If you'll notice, we've got this section called Report right here, which if you click on this, you'll notice that there's a embedded report feature within this channel. And so that's what I'm going to be showing you guys today. So if you look at our reporting system here, we've got a little title for it. It explains what happens when you're going to submit a report. What's this for? We also set up, of course, the description of the channel, what this entire channel is for. And let's say that somebody receives a spam DM, or they've noticed an imposter account or something like that, some kind of scam going on. Then they can come in here and hit start a report. And when they do, you'll notice on the left-hand side, a new ticket has popped up as a thread. Now, the cool thing about this is when we set this all up, this will only be viewable by the people that are in this new thread, which would be Discord mods and the person that started the ticket. Now, if I click on the ticket, now you'll notice it popped up right here. The bot pops up and says that you've opened a new ticket. And I'm going to talk about the bot here in just a minute. Don't worry. But it said you've opened a new ticket, and it gives you the ticket name, which is going to be ticket / the name of the person who opened it. So if I click on this, then it's going to come over here and it's going to say, please type out the details of your report and include any screenshots or evidence you have of what you're reporting. And so the bot basically tells the person, hey, submit whatever it is you want to report. And then the person can come down here and they can type out a message. Hey, I ran into a scammer, tried to sell me cryptocurrency or whatever it is, because that seems to be a popular one in Discord for some reason. And then they can also submit screenshots of the DM or whatever right here. Now, when they do this, it's going to operate much like, if I put the word test in here, it's going to operate much like a private thread or channel with the Discord moderators and whoever else is involved, whoever you have on your team, which we'll talk about here in a minute as well. Now, you can talk back and forth, you can ask them questions, and by the time you get done with this conversation, you can take care of whatever the issue is, and when it's done, either you or the person who submitted the ticket can close this ticket. Now, if you're a moderator, most likely you're going to use close with reason, and if you click on that, then it's going to pop up and say, hey, fill out what the reason is. And I'm going to say this was a test, and then I'm going to hit submit, and that is going to close, and this bot will tell us the ticket has been closed. I was closed by me, and the reason was this was a test, right? Now you'll notice over here on the left-hand side, watch what happens. If I click out and go to any other channel, let's say I go to the emotes only channel right here. If I go to any other channel, that thread closed. And if I go back to report, that thread is gone. It's no longer there. Now, for me, since I submitted the ticket, I can dismiss this message from the bot. This message won't show for anyone else. It'll only show for the user that submitted the report. Now, what's really cool about this is that this report, after it's closed, will actually be added. If you'll scroll down here, it'll actually be added to an archive channel that you've set up, where I can go and click on this and I can see all of the tickets that have been submitted and what happened. In fact, this was opened by EagleGarrett in this case. It was closed by me as well, but it'll have, the respective names. And then, of course, it'll tell you the time. It will tell you the reason, and you can keep a record or an archive of all the reports and what happened with those reports. This is an effective ticketing system for reporting, but also let's say that you have, a Q&A session or section within your Discord server, or you have a help channel or something like that. People can submit tech questions if you're a tech Discord server, whatever it may be. You can keep a record of all those reports or all of those submissions. It also allows for a really, really clean setup when it comes to reporting, right? So you may be asking, how do I do this? Well, let's dive into it, okay? How do we set up this reporting section? Now, I'm going to be switching back and forth between our Discord server and how to set this up. The first thing we're going to do is you're going to go to, and I'll have a link down in the description of this channel, but you're going to go to a bot called TicketsBot, and this is ticketsbot.net, which is the bot that we're using for this. Now, there's a few different options out there for bots that will run ticketing options, but after looking at a bunch of them, TicketsBot is the one that I found to be not only the easiest to set up, but also just the cleanest, and it just works really well. There may be another ticket bot out there that you prefer, that you've been using, and if there is, leave your suggestions down in the comments of this video because I would love to hear what you've discovered. But for me, I really enjoy TicketsBot, and I'll kind of walk you through how to set this up really quick. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is go over to the forms section right here and click on this. And you're going to want to create a new form, and this is going to come in handy later, so it'll just make your setup process easier. So you'll notice that I have a form called Submit a Report. That is the form that I am using for our reports feature. You can title it whenever you create a new one here. You title it right up here, Submit a Report, or Q&A or whatever. Hit create, and it's going to pop up down here under your Manage Forms. So you have your forms here, and then after you do that, the first thing you're going to do is go over here to Reaction Panels, and Reaction Panels is going to be where you actually set up what you see here, this thing right here. And so I want you guys to take a look at this. We're going to come back and forth between this and what we're setting up, but this is kind of a customized embed that we have put together. So let me just go ahead and show you how we've done this. The first thing you're going to want to do is create a panel. Now, I've already created a panel, but basically, if you're doing this for the first time, this is where you'll create the panel. You'll put in all your information right here. But instead of doing that, I'm going to show you ours that we've already set up so I can walk you through what each thing actually does. When I hit edit, this is going to look exactly like the create a panel section, but I'm just editing this panel. And at the top here, it'll say mention to open. This is where you're going to put the individual roles within your server. Now, if you'll notice, I did both. I was testing it out, but I actually can go through here and I can select any role within our server to be a part of a ticket if I want to. And I just put the owner, the ticket opener, the person that opens it, and myself. Now, underneath that, you're going to have a ticket category. This is where the ticket is going to open. And so you want to select the category. And if you go over to our Discord here, you'll notice that our report channel is under the nest category. So that's what we call the kind of the generalized, channels of our Discord. So that's what you want to select when you go there. And then after you do that, we'll go back over here. We've selected the nest for the category, and then the form that we're going to use. Remember, we already filled out and created a form before we got here. So we're going to select the form that we want to use, which is submit a report. And then the naming scheme, you can use server default right here if you'd like. And then down here under the panel message, this is where you're going to title the panel, which says submit a report, right? And just to show you what that looks like, that is this right here. And so whatever you want this to say up here, that is what you're going to put right here under the panel title. Next to that is the panel content. That is going to be this, description of what this submission is all about right here. So you're going to type that all out in this section. And then you can also choose the panel color. You can select any color. If you click on this, you can go in there and you got the entire spectrum of RGB. And that's just going to basically show you what the embed color right over here on the left-hand side, what that's going to be. And then next to that, it's going to say panel channel. Okay, so this is going to be where this panel is going to show up. Now you want to have in your Discord server a channel already set up like we did. That is your report channel or your FAQ channel or, whatever it may be, your tech help and so on. So we selected our report channel over here on the left-hand side. That's where we wanted this embed to pop up. And so you want to make sure that you already have that channel set up in your Discord. That's a whole nother video to set up channels, but at this point, hopefully you've already learned how to do that. Now, there's an option over here to disable this panel. I don't have it checked, obviously, because we don't want to disable it, but if you ever need to disable it, there is an option for that. And then underneath that, the button color, which is this button right down here, this is the actual submission button, can be changed to blue, gray, green, or red. So you can choose one of those 4 colors to have the button be. And then, of course, the button text, you can actually change what the button says. And in our case, we said start a report. And so you can make this submit or whatever you want it to be, but we just put start report there. The next thing, if you go over here to the right-hand side, you'll notice that there's a little emoji. And this allows you to select, and I'll go back over here to show you, it allows you to select whatever emote or emoji pops up on this button. So if you want this to be a hand or a smiley face, or in our case, we put an actual ticket on there, that's what you're going to select right over here. Now, underneath that, you'll see 2 links. These links are links to these graphics. And you can actually go and find any graphic that you would like to insert right here and right here. And all you have to do is find their web URL, and you can go over here to your bot and paste them in and bring that graphic into your embed. And so it'll say large image URL right here and small image URL right here. So you just, this is the small one, this is the big one. You put the image URLs in there and it will bring it into the embed for you automatically to kind of, spice up this report feature or whatever you're going to use this ticketing system for. Once you do that, the next thing is there's a welcome message here that you could go ahead and fill out. I haven't messed with this myself because we've got basically everything in this panel content, but you could go in here and do a welcome message. I'm assuming, I haven't played around with this too much, but I'm assuming that message pops up underneath this once you actually start a report and you go into that report. Let's do another one here. It would probably pop up underneath this and welcome you and give you a description and all that kind of stuff. I'll play around with it some more, but that is an option if you would like to take a look at that as well. Once you have all of this set up, your panel is ready to rock and roll. Okay, so once you're all done with all of this, you can back out of this. You make sure you hit submit at the bottom, by the way, which is right underneath my camera, like right here. But make sure you submit this, and once you submitted it, your panel is ready, and it should show up here under your panel quota. Now you can only do a certain number of these unless you go with the premium version of this, but this is free. So you don't have to pay anything to do up to 3 of these report panels, as far as I understand. Now, once you've set this up, there's only one other place you need to go in order to make this all work properly. And that is the settings tab up here in the top left-hand corner. If we click on the settings tab, this is going to be where you're going to set what happens to this entire system. So you'll notice that we've got a limit of how many uses a particular individual can submit. They've got a simultaneously, so back to back to back to back. This can be changed to whatever you want it to be. You can also tick mark whether you want to allow users to close tickets, or also whether you want a close confirmation. When they close the ticket, it'll ask, are you sure you want to close it? And then you can also submit enable user feedback, and users can submit feedback after the ticketing has been completed. Underneath that, they have something called thread mode, which is what we were using, where when we submit a ticket, it pops up a new thread under the report channel. Now you can uncheck this and do this as I believe a channel itself, but the thread feature is much nicer because it will auto open and close the tickets for you. So it's a really, really good feature. I recommend enabling thread mode and just using that because it makes it way easier. The other thing is ticket notification channel. Whenever a ticket is submitted, you need to pick a channel within your Discord, preferably where your moderators or whoever's going to be answering these tickets, where they're going to be able to see this notification. So select a channel in your server where they're going to be hanging out, but not a public channel that everyone can see. Whenever a ticket gets submitted, you don't need everybody in your server seeing that there's a ticket submitted, but rather just your Discord mods or whoever's going to reply. And then underneath that, there's a ticket section here. You're going to want to set up where the transcripts channel is. That is going to be basically where the archives go, which I put reports archive. I made a channel, which I showed you guys over here, specifically for the archives of our reports. And so make sure you make that channel as well before you do all of this, or as you're doing all of this. And then overflow category, I have this disabled. This is just if you're going to have a lot of reports coming in, you might want to have an overflow of where those archives will go if it starts getting too flooded too quickly. Now, store ticket transcripts. Make sure that's tick boxed. tick box, check marked, however you want to say it. But store the transcripts. That is going to be basically just keeping track of all of those and archiving them. And then there's also a hide claim button. And this would be whenever you submit a ticket, it will actually send a notification out to whoever's included in that ticket, asking if they would like to claim that ticket and then start handling that situation. We don't really need this, but if you need that, that's available as well. Now, underneath that, it has an open command. You can disable the open command, or you can leave it available. There's a welcome message here. This is where you're going to put in your welcome message for the reporting feature, and then also the channel category where it's going to happen. We again put the nest here, so it's automatically going to show up whenever you create a panel that we did a minute ago. And then the naming scheme. This is pretty important to do because you can either select whether you want the ticket to be numbered, so just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, or do you want it to have the name of the person who submitted the ticket? And I opted for the username of the person who made the submission, and that is why it said ticket and then /EagleGarrett when we submitted our ticket. And then if you go down here to the context menu, add message sender to ticket, and then use settings from panel, submit a report. That's where you're going to select that form that you created and get that all set up there. Also, the required permission level is going to be who do you want to be able to submit the ticket. And so if you've got a specific role or something like that, an administrator, a support representative, or everyone, you can limit this to where you could just have support representatives or the administrator be able to submit tickets and use this as a whole different, task-oriented system where you send a task to your mods for them to do, and one of the mods can claim it and take care of it. You could use it that way as well. And then under claiming here, support reps can view claimed tickets. You can check mark that or uncheck mark it, and then support reps can type in claimed tickets and make sure that that is marked, because if it's not, then support reps can see the tickets that's been submitted, but they can't reply to it. So if you want them to be able to reply or have a conversation with the person making the submission, you need to have this and this check marked. And then auto close. This is something you could set up if you would like. And basically, if the user leaves the thread, then it will close the ticket. Or if there's a certain number of time that goes by, you can also set that up. But that is a premium feature, so you would have to get the premium version of this bot. And then ticket permissions, attach files, embed links, add reactions. Make sure those are all turned on if you want people to be able to do those, or turn off the ones that you don't need. And then you can also, down here, change your success or failure color schemes if you want them to be different than green or red under the premium version of this bot. Once all of this is set up, hit submit, and you have officially set up a ticketing system in your Discord server. Now, one last thing I do want to say is that there are some other options that I haven't gone over in this video that you will need to play around with to see if they work for you. But this is how to set up a ticketing system like what we have in our Discord right here. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you. I have found this ticketing system and this bot specifically extremely helpful for cleaning up our report section and utilizing it in that way. But you can use it in a bunch of different ways for your server, and this bot, tickets bot, literally makes it super easy and super simple. As long as you know kind of what everything does, then you don't have to spend the hours that I did testing everything and making sure it worked all properly. So I hope this video helps in that way. If it did, make sure you leave this video a thumbs up, a like on it if you wouldn't mind. That would be greatly appreciated and help this video get out to more people. And of course, if you like videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to know when videos like this go live here on my channel. In addition to that, I am a streamer over on Twitch at twitch.tv/EagleGarrett. So if you guys would like to swing by and hang out with me anytime while we play games or have questions about the bot, that is the best place to ask. So jump on over into my stream. Like I also mentioned earlier, our Discord server, discord.gg/flock, is a great place to come hang out with us and enjoy our community of gamers, content creators, and streamers, and all kinds of people that are into Discord and running their servers. Come hang out over there. It's a great place. We've got an awesome community at discord.gg/flock. You can also keep up with me on all the social media accounts that you see here. I've got everything linked down in the description of this video, as well as Epidemic Sound, who's been providing the fantastic background music we've had in this entire video, plus the intro. So check out Epidemic Sound. Use code EagleGarrett to save 50% off of 2 months after your first month of free trial. Take advantage of that free trial because it's fantastic. Links down in the description. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, rock on, peace out, God bless. And last but not least, oh, nothing. I think he's battling. No, he's battling Asthra right there. Yo, Nuffims wants to battle? All right, Nuffims. All right, bro. Ooh! Ooh! Yo! Yo! GG's!